Hello and welcome to, sorry, there wasn't anyway. Welcome to the Corti Theater Company, and we're going to be continuing our Shakespearean education this evening with doing Twelfth Night because it's 12th night. Woohoo! All right, so we've got a great band of jolly players tonight joining us. We've got Paul. Paul is going to be our Antonio and also our Andrew. We also have Travis joining us. Travis is going to be our, what is he, a Duke or something? Toby. Katie is joining us. She's going to be our, I started to say Valerio, but that's a gas station. Viola / Cesario. It's been a day. We also have joining us tonight as Malvolio Corina. She's also going to be a couple other characters for us as well. Logan's going to be our Duke Orsino. We've got Kevin joining us as our resident fool. Jared is going to be our Sebastian this evening. And we've just got Lynn joining us, and she's going to be our Olivia. Woohoo! I'm going to be covering for Fabian and Maria this evening. And without further ado, we don't have scene description tonight. We're just going it. So welcome to 12th Night by that Shakespeare guy.
Bard.
Music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that suffiting, that appetite may sicken and so die, that strain again if I had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon the bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. Spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, naught enters there, of what validity and pitch soe'er, but falls into abatement and low prices even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy that is alone and high fantastical.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What, Curio?
The heart.
Why, so I do, the noblest that I have. Oh, when mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That instant that I was turned into a hart, and my desires, like fell and cruel hounds, e'er since pursue me. How now? What news from her?
So please, my lord, I might not be admitted, but from her handmaid do return this answer. The element itself, till 7 years' heat, shall not behold her face at ample view. But like a cloistress, she will veil and walk and water once a day her chambered round with eye-offending brine. All this to season her brother's dead love, which she would keep fresh and lasting in her sad remembrance.
Oh, that she hath a heart of that fine frame to pay his debt of love, but to a brother, how will she love when the rich golden shaft hath killed the flock of all affection else that live in her? When liver, brain, and heart, those sovereign thrones were all supplied and filled her sweet perfections with one self-king. Away before me the sweet beds of flowers. Love thoughts lie rich when canopied with bowers.
What country, friends, is this?
This is Illyria, lady.
And what should I do in Illyria? My brother, he is in Elysium. Perchance he is not drowned? What think you, sailors?
It is perchance that you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother, and perchance may he be.
True, madam. And to comfort you with chance, assure yourself after our ship did split, when you and those poor numbers saved with you hung on a driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself, courage and hope both teaching him the practice, to a strong mast that lived upon the sea, where like Arian on the dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves as long as I could see.
For saying so, there's gold. Mine own escape unfoldeth to my hope, whereto thy speech serves for authority, the like of him. Knowst thou this country?
Aye, madam. Well, for I was bred and born not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Oh, who governs here?
A noble duke, in nature as in name,
What is his name?
Orsino.
Orsino. I have heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And so is now, or was so very late, for but a month ago I went from hence, and then 'twas fresh in murmur, as you know, what great ones do with the less will prattle of, that he did seek the love of fair Olivia,
What's she?
a virtuous maid, the daughter of a count that died some 12 months since, then leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died, for whose dear love they say she hath abjured the sight and company of men.
That I served that lady and might not be delivered to the world till I had made mine own occasion mellow what my estate is.
That were hard to compass, because she will admit no kind of suit. No, not the Duke's.
There is a fair behavior in thee, captain, and though that nature with a beauteous wall doth oft clothes in pollution, yet thee I will believe thou hast a mind that suits with this thy fair and outward character. I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously, conceal me for what I am, and be my aid for such disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I'll serve this duke. Thou shalt present me as an eunuch to him. It may be worth thy pains, for I can sing and speak to him in many sorts of music that will allow me very worth his service. What else mayhap to time I will commit, only shape thou thy silence to my wit.
Be you his eunuch, and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, let mine eyes not see.
I thank thee. Lead me on.
What plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure here is an enemy to life.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier o' nights. Your cousin, my lady, takes great expectations to your ill hours.
Why, let her accept before accepted.
Aye, but you must confine yourself with the modest limits of order.
Confined. I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes are good enough to drink in, and so by these boots too, and they be not let me hang themselves in their own straps.
That quaffling and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady talk of it yesterday. And a foolish knight that you brought in one night here to be her wooer?
Who, Sir Andrew Aguacheek?
Aye, he.
He's as tall a man as any in Illyria.
What's that to the purpose?
Why, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
You have one more line, sir.
Oh,
Oh, no, that's me, sorry. Aye, but he'll have it here and all these ducats. He is a very fool and a prodigal.
aye, that you'll say so. He plays the Game Boy. I'm gonna say it, Game Boys, and speaks 3 or 4 languages word for word without book, and hath all good gifts of nature.
Yeah, he hath indeed almost natural, for besides that he's a fool, he's a greater quarreller, and but that had he had the gift of coward to a lie, the gust he hath in quarreling. 'Tis thought among the prudent he would quickly have the gift of a grave.
By this hand, they are scoundrels and subtractors that say so of him. Who are they?
They that add, moreover, he's drunk nightly in your company.
With the drinking healths to my niece, I'll drink to her as long as there is a passage in my throat, and drink in Illyria. He's a coward and a cunstrel that will not drink to my niece till his brains turn o' the toe like a parish top. What wench, Castilio Vilgo? From here comes Sir Andrew Arguface.
Sir Toby Belch. How now, Sir Toby Belch?
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Bless you, fair shrew.
And to you, sir.
Accoust, Sir Andrew, accoust.
What's that?
Cost?
Accost. Fuck you, Shakespeare.
What's
That's
that?
an actual word we still use.
My niece's chambermaid.
Oh, good Mistress Accost. I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good Mistress Mary Accost.
You mistake, knight. Accost in front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I would not undertake her in this company. Is that the meaning of accost?
Farewell, you gentlemen.
And thou let part so Andrew, Sir Andrew, would thou mightest never draw a sword again.
And you part so, mistress, I would I might never draw sword again. Fair lady, do you think you have fools in hand?
Sir, I have not you by the hand.
Marry, but you shall have. And here's my hand.
Now, sir, fault is free. I pray you bring your hand to thy buttery bar and let it drink.
Wherefore, sweetheart? What's your metaphor?
It's dry, sir.
Why, I think so. I am not such an ass, but I can keep my hand dry. But what's your jest?
Oh, a dry jest, sir.
Are you full of them?
Oh, aye, sir. I have them at my fingers' ends. Marry now, let go your hand, I am barren.
Oh, knight, thou lackst cup of canary. When did I see those so put down?
Never in your life, I think, unless you see canary put me down. Methinks sometimes I have no more wit than a Christian or an ordinary man has. But I am a great eater of beef. I believe it does harm to my wit.
No question.
And I thought that I'd forswear it. I'll ride home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi, my dear knight?
What is pourquoi?
Ah,
Do or not do? I would I had bestowed that time in the tongues that I have in fencing, dancing, and bear baiting. Oh, had I but followed the arts.
then hast thou had an excellent head of hair?
Why would that have mended my hair?
Past question, for thou since it will not curl by nature.
But it becomes me well enough, does it not?
Excellent. It hangs like a flax on a distaff, and I hope to see a housewife take thee between her legs and spin it off.
Faith, I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not be seen, or if she be, it's 4-1, she'll none of me. The count himself here hard by woos her.
She'll none of the count, she'll not match above her degree, neither in estate, years, nor wit. I have heard her swear their life in't, mate, man.
I'll stay a month longer. I am a fellow of the strangest mind of the world. I delight in masks and revels, sometimes altogether.
Art thou good at these kickshaws, knight?
As any man in Illyria, whatsoever he be, under the degree of my betters, and yet I will not compare with an old man.
What is thy excellence in a galliard knight?
Faith, I can cut a caper.
And I cut the mutton to it.
And I think I have the back trick simply as strong as any man in Illyria.
Wherefore are these things hid? Wherefore have these gifts a curtain before them? Are they like to take dust like Mistress Mall picture? Why dost thou go to church in a galliard and come home in a corando? My very walk should be a jig. I would not as much as make water, but in sink a pace. What dost thou mean? Is it world to hide virtues in? I think by the excellent constitution of thy leg, it was formed under the style of galliard.
Aye, 'tis strong, and it does indifferent well in a dun-colored stock. Shall we set about some revels?
What shall we do else? Were we not born under Taurus?
Taurus? That's sides and heart.
No, sir, it's legs and thighs. Let me see the caper. Ha, higher. Ha, 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 excellent.
If the Duke continues these favors towards you, Cesario, you are like to be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you are no stranger.
You either fear his humor or my negligence that you call in question the continuance of his love. Is he constant, sir, in his favors?
No, believe me.
I thank you. Oh, here comes the Count.
Who saw Cesario home?
On your attendance, my lord. Here.
Stand a while aloof. Cesario, thou knowest no less but all. I have unclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her. Be not denied access. Stand at her doors and tell them, there thy fixed foot shall grow till thou have audience.
Sure, my noble lord. If she be so abandoned to her sorrow as it spoke, she will never admit me.
Be clamorous and leave all civil bounds rather than make unprofited return.
Say I do speak with her, my lord. What then?
Oh, then unfold the passion of my love. Surprise her with the discourse of my dear faith. It shall become thee well to act my woes. She will attend it better in thy youth than in Annuncios of more grave aspect.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it. For thou shalt yet belie thy happy years, for thou art a man. Diana's lip is not more smooth and rubious. Thy small pipe is the maiden's organ, shrill and sound, and all is semblatives a woman's part. I know thy constellation is right apt for this affair. Some 4 or 5 attend him. All, if you will, for myself I am best when least in company. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortuitous thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. Yet a parful strife. Where I woo myself would be his wife.
Nay, neither tell me where thou hast been, or I will not open my lips so as wide to bristle may enter in way of thy excuse. My lady will hang thee for thy absence.
Let her hang me. He that is well hanged in this world needs to fear no colors.
Make that good.
He shall see none to fear.
And good litten answer. I can tell thee where that was saying was born of I fear no colors.
Where, good Mistress Mary?
Oh, in the wars. And that made you be so bold to say in your foolery.
Well, God give them wisdom that have it, and those that are fool, let them use their talents.
Ah, yet you may be hanged for being so long absent. Or, to be turned away is not as good as, hanging you.
Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage, and for turning away, let summer bear it out.
You are resolute then?
Not so, neither, but I am resolved on 2 points.
That if one break, the other will hold, or if both break, your gaskins fall.
Apt in good faith, very apt. Well, go thy way. If Sir Toby would leave drinking, thou wert as witty a piece of Eve's flesh as an Annie in Illyria.
Ah, peace you rogue. No more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuse wisely. You were best.
Wit, and be thy will. Put me into good fooling. Those wits that think they have thee do very oft prove fools, and that I am sure I lack thee may pass for a wise man. For what say Quinopolis? Better a witty fool than a foolish wit. God bless thee, lady.
Take the fool away.
Do you not hear, fellows? Take away the lady.
Go to. You are a dry fool. I'll know more of you. Besides, you grow dishonest.
2 faults, Madonna, that drink and good counsel will amend. Forgive the dry fool drink, then is the fool not dry? Bid the dishonest man mend himself. If he mend, he is no longer dishonest. If he cannot, let the botcher mend him. Anything that's mended is but patched. Virtue that transgresses is but patched with sin, and sin that amends is but patched with virtue. If that is simple syllogism, will serve, so if it will not, what remedy? As there is no true cuckold but calamity. So beauty's a flower. The lady bade take away the fool. Therefore I say again, take her away.
Sir, I bade them take away you.
Miss Prism is in the highest degree. Lady Cuculus non facet monachum. Sorry if I mispronounced that Latin. That's as much to say as I wear not motley in my brain. Good Madonna, give me leave to prove you a fool.
Can you do it?
Dexterously, good Madonna.
Make your proof.
I must catechize you for it, Madonna. Good my mouse of virtue, answer me.
Well, sir, for want of other idleness, I'll bide your proof.
Good Madonna. Why mourn'st thou?
Good fool, for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul is in heaven, fool.
The more fool, Madonna, to mourn for your brother's soul being in heaven. Take away the fool, gentlemen.
What think of you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall do till the pangs of death shake him. Infirmity decays the wise, doth ever make the better fool.
God send you, sir, a speedy infirmity, for the better increasing you folly. Sir Toby will be sworn that I am no fox, but he will not pass his word for 2 pence that you are no fool.
How say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your ladyship takes delight in such a barren rascal. I saw him put down the other day with an ordinary fool that has no more brain than a stone. Look you now, he's out his guard already. Unless you laugh and minister occasion. Oh, I lost my spell. Shoot. To him, he is gagged. I protest, I take thee wise men that crow so at these set kinds of fools no better than the fool Zanes.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. To be generous, guiltless, and free of disposition is to take those things for bird bolts that you deem cannon bolts. There is no slander in an allowed fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor no railing in a known discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Now Mercury endue thee with leasing, for thou speakst well of fools.
Madam, there is, I think, a young gentleman much desires to speak with you.
From the Count Orsino, is it?
I know not, madam. 'Tis a fair young man and well attended.
Who of my people hold him in delay?
Sir Toby, madam, your kinsman.
Oh, fetch him off, I pray you. He speaks nothing but madmen. Fie on him. Go you, Malvolio. If it be a suit from the Count, I am sick, or not at home, or what you will, to dismiss it. Now you see, sir, how your fooling grows old and people dislike it.
Thou hast spoke for us, Madonna, as if thy eldest son should be a fool, whose skull Jove cram with brains for, here he comes, one of thy king has a most weak pia mater.
By mine honor, half drunk. What is he at the gate, cousin?
A gentleman.
A gentleman? What gentleman?
'Tis a gentleman here, a plague o' these pickle here herring. How now, sot?
Good Sir Toby.
Cousin, oh cousin, how have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lethargy. I defy lechery. There's one at the gate.
Aye, Mary, what is he?
Let him be the devil and he will. I care not. Give me faith, say I. Well, it's all one.
What's a drunken man like, fool?
Like a drowned man, a fool, and a madman. One draught above heat makes him a fool, the second mads him, and the third drowns him.
Go thou and seek the crowner, and let him sit on my cuz, for he is in the 3rd degree of drink. He's drowned. Go look after him.
He is but mad yet, Madonna, and the fool shall look to the madman.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on him to understand so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have foreknowledge of that too, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak to me.
Has been told so, and he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post and be the supporter to a bench, but he'll speak with he'll speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind.
What manner of man?
A very ill manner. He'll speak with you. Will you or no?
But of what personage is he, and years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy. As a squash is before 'tis a pesco, or a codling when it is almost an apple. 'Tis with him in standing water between boy and man. He is very well flavored, and he speaks very shrewdly. One would think his mother's milk were scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call in my gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman, my lady calls.
Give me my veil. Come, throw it over my face. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The honorable lady of the house. Which is she?
Speak to me. I shall answer for you.
Most
What
radiant,
you will.
most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you. Tell me if this be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech for, besides, that is excellently well penned. I have taken great pains to con it. Good beauties, let me sustain no scorn. I am very comfortable, even to the least sinister usage.
Whence came you, sir?
I can say little more than I have studied, and that question's out of my part. Good gentle one, give me the modest assurance, if you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart, and yet by the fangs of malice, I swear I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house?
If I do not usurp myself, I am.
Most certain. If you are she, you do usurp yourself. What is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is from my commission. I will go on with my speech in your praise and then show you the heart of my message.
Come to what is important in it. I forgive you the praise.
Alas, I took great pains to study it, and 'tis poetical.
It is more like to be feigned. I pray you keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach rather to wonder at you than to hear you. If you be not mad, begone. And if you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not that time of the moon with me to make one in so skipping a dialogue.
Many pardons. Will you hoist sail, hoist sail, sir? Elijah way.
No, good Swammer, I am whole here a little longer. Some mollification for your giant, sweet lady.
Tell me your mind.
I am a messenger.
Sure, you have some hideous manner to deliver when the courtesy of it is so fearful. Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenheaded. To your ears, divinity, to any others, profanation.
Give us this place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet lady.
Oh, a comfortable doctrine. Much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
In his bosom. In what chapter of his bosom?
To answer by method, in the first of his heart.
Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say? Have you no more to say?
Good madam. Let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text, but we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir. Such a one I was this present. Is it not well done?
Excellency done, if God did all.
Prison grain, sir. 'Twill endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blend, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you would lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy.
Oh, sir, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give our divers schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried, and every particle and utensil labeled to my will as item 2 lips, indifferent red, item 2 gray eyes with lids to them, item 1 neck, 1 chin, and, well, so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see you what you are. You are too proud. But if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be recompensed though you were crowned the non-peril of beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in dimension and shape of nature a gracious person, but yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a sufferings, such a deadly life, in your denial, I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contemned love, and sing them loud even in the dead of night. Hollow your name to the reverberate hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth, but you should pity me.
You might too much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my state as well. I am a gentleman.
But you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more, unless perchance you come to me again to tell me how he takes it. Very well. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
Oh, I am no feed post, lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love makes his heart a flint that you shall love, and let your further, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? Above my fortune, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art. Thy tongue, thy face, thy limbs, action and spirit to give thee fivefold blazon. Not too fast, soft. Unless the master were the man. How now, even so quickly may one catch the plague? Methinks I feel this youth's perfection with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be. What ho, Malvolio?
Here, madam, at your service.
Run after the same peevish messenger, the county's man. He left this ring behind him. Would I or no? Tell him I'll none of it. Desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with my hopes. I am not for him. If that youth will come this way tomorrow, I'll give him the reasons for it. Hi thee, Malvolio.
Madam, I will.
I do not know what, and fear to find mine eye too great a flatterer for my mind. Fate show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Will you say no longer? Nor will you not that I go with you?
Oh, by your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my life might perhaps distemper yours. Therefore, I shall crave of you your leave that I may bear my evils alone. It were bad recompense for your love to lay any of them on you.
Let me know of you whither you are bound.
Oh, no, sooth, sir. My determinate voyage is mere extravagancy. But I perceive in you so excellent a touch of modesty that you will not extort from me what I am willing to keep in. Therefore, it charges me in manners, the rather to express myself. You must know of me then, Antonio. My name is Sebastian, which I called Rodrigo. My father was that Sebastian of Messalene, whom I know you've heard of. He left behind him myself and a sister, both born in an hour. If the heavens had been pleased, we had so ended. But you, sir, altered that. For some hour before you took me from the breach of the sea, my sister was drowned.
Alas the day.
A lady, sir, though it said she much resembled me, was yet of many accounted beautiful. Whoa. My script just scrolled far, far, far away. But though I could not with such estimable wonder over far believe that, yet thus far I will boldly publish her. She bore a mind that envy could not but call fair. She's drowned already, sir, with salt water. Though I seem to drown her remembrance again with more.
Pardon me, sir, your bad entertainment.
Oh, good Antonio, forgive me your trouble.
If you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
If you will not undo what you have done, that is, kill him whom you have recovered, desire it not. Fare you well at once. My bosom is full of kindness, and I am yet so near the manners of my mother that upon the least occasion more, mine eyes will tell tales of me. I am bound to the Count Orsino's court. Farewell.
The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else would I very shortly see thee there. But come what may, I do adore thee so that danger shall seem sport, and I will go.
Were you not even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir, on a moderate pace, I have since arrived but hither.
She returned this ring to you, sir. You might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you should put your lord in assurance she will of him. And one thing more, that you be never so handy to come again in his affairs, unless be support your lord's taking of his. Receive it so.
She took the ring of me. I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevishly threw it to her, and her will should be so returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lies in your eyes. If not, be it his that finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outside have not charmed her. She made good view of me, indeed so much that we thought her eyes had lost her tongue, for she did speak and starts distractedly. She loves me. Sure. The cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring. Why, he sent her none. I am the man. If it be so, as 'tis, poor lady, she were better love a dream. Skies, I see thou art wickedness, wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How easy is it for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms? Alas, our frailty is the cause. Not we, for such as we are made of, should such we be. How will this fadge? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him. And she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. Well, what will become of this? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, oh, now alas the day. What thriftless ties shall poor Olivia breathe? Time, thou must untangle this. Not I, for it is too hard a knot for me to untie.
Approach, Sir Andrew. Not to be abed after midnight is to be betimes and delicious surgery.
Nay, by my troth, I know not, but I know to be up late
A false
is to be up late.
Ah, well, a false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can to be up after midnight and go to bed, then as early so that to go to bed after midnight is to go to bed betimes. Does our lives consist of the four elements?
Faith, so they say, but I think it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Thou art a scholar. Let us therefore eat and drink, Marion. I say a stoup of wine.
Here comes the fool, of Faith.
Ah.
How now, my hearts? Did you never see the picture of we three?
Welcome, ass. Now let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. I had rather than 40 shillings I had such a leg, and so sweet a breath to sing as the fool has. In sooth, thou wast very gracious fooling last night, when thou spokest of Pigrogrometus of the Vapians, passing the equinoctial of Quibus. 'Twas very good, i' faith. I sent thee sixpence for thy lemon. Hadst it?
I did in Pedicos thy gratility, for Malvolia's nose is no whipstock. My lady has a white hand, and the myrmidons are no bottle ale houses.
Excellent. Why, this is the best fooling when all is done. Now, a song.
Come on, there is sixpence for you. Let's have a song.
There's a testril of me too. If one night give a...
Would you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song. A love song.
I care not for good life.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay in here. Your true love's coming, that can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty switting, journeys end in lovers' meeting. Every wise man's son doth know.
Excellent. Good, faith.
Good. Good.
What is love? No. What is? 'Tis not hereafter. Present mirth hath present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there's lies no plenty. Then come kiss me, sweet and 20. Youth's a stuff will not endure.
A mellifluous voice, as I am true knight.
A contagious breath.
Very sweet and contagious, Ife.
To hear by the nose it's ducklet and contagion, but shall we make the welkin dance indeed? Shall we rose the night owl in a catch that will draw 3 souls of one weaver? Shall we do that?
And you love me, let's do it. I am a dog at a catch.
Bar lady, sir, and some dogs will catch well.
Most certain. Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave. Knight? I should be constrained in to call thee knave, knight.
'Tis not the first time I have constrained one to call me knave. Begin, fool. It begins, hold thy peace.
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Good, Faith, come, begin.
What caterwauling do you keep here? If my lady had not called up her steward Malvolio and bid him to turn you out of doors, never trust me.
My lady is a Kintian. We are politicians. Mavolio's a Peggy Ramsey, and 3 merry men we. Am I not a consanguineous or whatever the fuck that is? Am I not of blood, Tilly Valley lady?
Consanguineous.
Ah, there dwelt a man in Babylon, lady.
Beshrew me, the knight's inadmirable fooling.
He does well enough if he be deposed, and so do I too. He does it with a better grace, but I do it more natural.
Oh, the 12th day of December.
Oh, for the love of God, peace.
My masters, are you mad, or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, no honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at a time of night? Do you make an alehouse of my lady's house, that you squawk out of your cosiers catches without any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snack up.
Sir Toby, I must be bound with you. My lady bade me tell you that, though she harbors you as her kinsman, she's nothing ally to her disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to this house. If not, and it would please you to take leave of her, she is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear, since I must needs be gone.
Nay, good Sir Toby.
His eyes do show his days are almost done.
Is even so.
But I will never die.
Sir Toby, there you lie.
This is much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
What and if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
Oh, no, 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 you dare not.
Out of tune, sir, you lie. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think because thou art virtuous there shall be no more cakes and ale?
Yes, by Saint Anne, and ginger shall be hot to the mouth too.
Thou art right. Go, sir, rub your chain with crumbs, a stoop of wine, Maria.
Mistress Mary, if you prize my lady's favor at anything more than contempt, you will not give means to this uncivil rule. She shall know of it by this hand.
Go shake your ears.
For as good a deed as to drink when a man's a hungry, to challenge him the field, than to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Don't, knight, I'll write thee a challenge, or I'll deliver the indignation to him by word of mouth.
Sir, sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth accounts was today with my lady, she is much out of quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a neighborhood and make him common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
possesses us. Tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he is kind of a Puritan.
Oh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog.
What, for being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it, but I have reason good enough.
The devil of a Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser, an affectionate ass that cones state without book and utters it by great swaths. The best persuaded of himself, so crammed as he thinks, with excellencies, that is his grounds of faith, that all look at him, of love him. And on that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein by the colour of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady your niece, and on a forgotten matter, I can hardly make that distinction on our hands.
Excellent. I smell a device.
I have it in my nose, too.
He shall think by the letters that thou wilt drop that they come from my niece and that she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that colour.
And your horse now would make him an ass.
Ass, I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
Sport royal, I want you. I know my physic will work with him. I will plant you two, and let the fool make a third, where he shall find the letter. Observe his construction of it. For this night to bed, and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Pelthasia.
Before me, she's a good wench.
She's a beagle, true breed, and one that adores me. What oh that?
I was adored once, too.
Let's to bed, knight. Thou hast need send for more money.
If I cannot recover your niece, I am a foul way out.
Send for money, knight. If thou hast her not, I the end call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed now. Come, knight. Come, knight.
Give me some music. Now, good morrow, friends. Now, good Cesario, but that piece of song, that old and antique song we heard last night, methought it did relieve my passion much, more than light airs and recollected terms of those most brisk and giddy-paced times. Come, but one verse.
He's not here, so please your lordship, that should sing it.
Who was it?
Festi, the jester, my lord, a fool that the Lady Livia's father took so much delight in. He is about the house.
Seek him out, and play the tune the while. Come hither, boy. If ever thou shalt love, in the sweet prangs of it remember me, for such as I am, all true lovers are. Unstaid and skittish in all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature that is beloved. How dost thou like this tune?
It gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life upon it, young though thou heart, thine eye hath stayed upon some favor that it loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little, by your favor.
What kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion.
She is not worth thee, then. What years, I faith?
About your years, my lord.
Too old, by heaven. Let still the woman take an elder than herself. So where's she to him? So sways she level in her husband's heart. For boy, however we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more longing, unwavering, sooner lost and worn than woman's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, for thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are. Alas, said that they are so. To die even when they to perfection grow.
Oh, Fellow, come. The song we had last night. Mark it, Cesario. It is old and plain. The spinsters and the knitters in the sun and the free maids that weave their threads with the bones do use to chant it. It is a silly sooth and dallies with the innocence of love, like the old age. My fool?
Sorry, I lost my page. Where are we? Why can't I see this?
33.
I am. Are you ready, sir?
Hi. Prithee, sing.
Come away, death, and inside Cyprus let me be laid. Fly away, breath, I am slain by a fair, cruel maid. My shroud of white stuck all with you. Oh, prepare it. My part of death, no one so true did share it. Not a flower sweet, on my black coffin let there be strown. Not a friend greet my poor corpse where my bones shall be thrown. A thousand sighs to save, lay me aware, sad true lover never finds grave to weep there. That was bad.
Yeah, there's for thy pains.
No pain, sir. I take pleasure in singing, sir.
I'll pay thy pleasure then.
Truly, sir, and pleasure will be paid, one time or another.
Give me now leave to lead thee.
Now the melancholy god protect thee, and the tailor make thy doublet of changeable taffeta. For thy mind is very opal. I would have men of such constancy put to sea, that their business might be everything and their intent everywhere. For that's it that always makes a good voyage of nothing. Farewell.
Let all the rest give peace. Once more, Cesario. Get thee to yon same sovereign cruelty. Tell her my love, more notable than the world, prizes not a quantity of dirty lands. The part that fortune hath bestowed upon her, tell her I hold as giddy as fortune. But 'tis the miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her in attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir,
I cannot be so answered.
soothe, but you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her, you tell her so. Must she not then be answered?
There is no woman's sides can bide the beating so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite, no motion of the liver, but the palate, that suffer surfeit, cloyment, and revolt, and mine is as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between that love a woman can bear me and that I owe Olivia.
But I know.
What dost thou know?
Too well love women to men may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter, loved a man, as it might be, perhaps, were I a woman, I should, your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, but like concealment, like a worm in the bud, feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy, she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was not this love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed, our shows are more than will, for still we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. And yet I know not. Sure, shall I, sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste. Give her this jewel. Say my love can give no place, bide no deny.
Come thy way, Signor Fabian.
Nay, I'll come, if thou scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death in melancholy.
Whilst thou not be glad to have this gnarly, rascally sheep bidder come by some notable shame?
Ah, I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favor with my lady, and now about to bear baiting here.
To anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we will fool him black and blue, shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not, it is pity of our lives.
Here comes the little villain. How now, my Medal of India?
Get you all three into the box tree. Malvolio's coming down this walk. He has been yonder, and I have sun practicing behavior in his own shadow in his half an hour. Observe him, for the love of mockery, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him, close in the name of Justine. Lie out there, for here comes the trout that must be caught with tickling.
'Tis but fortune, all is fortune. Maria once told me she did affect me, and I have heard herself come thus near. She fancy it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more respect than anyone else that follows her. What should I think of it?
Here's an overweening rogue.
No peace, contemplation makes a rare turkey cock of him. How he jets under his advanced plumes.
Slight, I could so beat the rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Ah, rogue.
Pistol him, pistol him!
Peace, peace.
There is example for it. The lady, the thought she married the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Fie on him, Jezebel!
Oh, peace! Now he's deeply in. Look how imagination blows him.
Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state.
Oh, for a stone bow to hit him in the eye.
Calling my officers about me in my branched velvet gown, having come from a daybed where I have left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone.
Oh, peace, peace!
And then to have the humor of state, and after demure travel regard, telling him I know my place as I should do theirs. Do ask for my kinsman, Toby.
Bolts and shackles.
Oh, peace, peace, peace! No, no!
7 of my people with an obedience start out for him. I frown the while and perchance wind up my watch or play with some rich jewels. Toby approaches, curtsies theirs to me.
Shall this fellow live?
Through our silence be drawn from us, with cause, yet peace.
I extend my hand to him, thus quenching my familiar smile with its zero regard of control.
And does not Toby take you a blow o' the lips then?
Saying, Cousin Toby, my fortunes having cast me on your knees, give me this prohibitive speech.
What? What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
Oh, out scab.
Ah, nay, patience, patience. Oh, we break the sinews of a plot.
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with the foolish knights.
That's me, I warrant you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew 'twas I, for many do call me fool.
What employment have we here?
Now is the woodcock near the chin.
Oh, peace and the spirit of humor is intimidate reading out loud to him.
By my life, this is my lady's hand. There be her very C's, her U's, her T's, and thus she makes her great P's. It is in contempt of question her hand.
Her C's, her U's, and her T's? Why that?
To the unknown beloved this, and my good wishes, her very phrases, by your leave, wax soft, and the impressure her, with which she uses to steal, 'tis my lady. To whom should this be?
This wins him, liver and all.
Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move, nor man must know. No man must know. What follows? The number is altered. No man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio,
Mary, hang thee, Brock.
I may command where I adore, but silence like a lucid knife. With bloodless strokes my heart thou gore. Moai, thou sway my life.
A fustian riddle.
Excellent wench, I say I.
Moai, thou sway my life. Nay, but first, let me see.
What a dish of poison she has dressed him.
And with what wing the Staniel checks at it.
I may command where I adore. Why, she may command me. I serve her, she is my lady. Why, this is evident to any formal courtesy. There is no obstruction to this. And the end, what shall this alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me, softly. Moai.
Oh, I make up that. He is now at a cold scent.
Ah, Salto will cry upon all for this, though it be as rank as a fox.
Malvolio. Why, that begins my name.
Did I not say he would work it out? The color is expectable.
But there's no consistency in the sequel that suffers under prohibition. A should follow, but O does.
No shall it, I hope.
Aye, or I'll cudgel him and make him cry, oh.
And then I comes behind.
Aye, and you had any eye behind you, you might see a more distraction at your heels than fortune before you.
Moai. This simulation is not as the former, and yet to question this a little, it would bow to me for every one of these letters or in my name. So here follows prose. If this falls into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness upon them. Thy fates open their hands. Let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and to inure thyself to what thou art like be cast full salt and appear fresh. Be opposite with the kinsmen, surely with servants. Let thy tongue hang arguments of state, put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advised thee, thus sighs for thee. Remember, who commended thy yellow stockings and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say, remember, go to thou art made, if thou despair it to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still, the fellow of servants, and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Fuck. What page are we on? Farewell, she that would alter service with thee. Fortunate, unhappy. Daylight and championed, discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will read politics. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be point eyes the very man. I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me. For every reason excites to this, and that my lady loves me. She did command my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered, and in this she manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction drives me to these of her liking. I thank my stars, I am happy. I will be strange, stout in yellow stockings, and cross-gartered, even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised. Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose, but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smile becomes thee well. Therefore, in my presence, still smile. Dear my sweet, I pity. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything thou art wilt have.
I will not give my part for this sport for a pension of thousands to be paid to the Sophie.
I could marry this wench for this device,
So could I too.
and ask no other dowry with her but such another jest.
Nor I neither.
Here comes my noble goal catcher.
Wilt thou set my foot o' my neck?
Or mine either?
Shall I play my freedom a trade trip and become thy bondslave?
If faith, or I either?
Why, thou hast put in such a dream that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad,
Nay, but say true. Does it work upon him?
like aquavitae with a midwife.
If you will then see the fruits of the sport mark his first approach before my lady, he will come to her in yellow stockings, and 'tis a colour she abhors, a cross-gartered fashion she detests, and he will smile upon her, which now will be so unsuitable to her disposition, being addicted to a melancholy as she, that it cannot but turn him into a notable content. If you will see it, follow me.
To the gates of Tatar, thou must excellent devil of wit.
I'll make one too.
Save thee, friend, and thy music. Dost thou live by thy labor?
No,
Tavern,
sir. No, sir. I live by the church.
art thou a churchman?
No such matter, sir. I do live by the church, for I do live at my house, and my house doth stand by the church.
Oh, so thou mayst say the king lies by a beggar if the beggar dwell near him, or the church stands by thy tabor if thy tabor stands by the church.
You have said, sir. To see this age, a sentence is but a cheverel glove to a good wit. How quickly the wrong side may be turned outward.
Nay, that's certain. They that dally nicely with words may quickly make them wanton.
I would therefore my sister had had no name, sir.
Why, man?
Why, sir, her name's a word, and to dally with that word might make my sister wanton. But indeed, words are very rascals, since bonds disgrace them.
Thy reason, man?
Troth, sir, I can yield you none without words, and words are grown so false I am loath to prove reasons with them.
I warrant thou art a merry fool and carest for nothing.
Not so, sir. I do care for something. But in my conscience, sir, I do not care for you. If that be to care for nothing, sir, I would it would make you invisible.
Art thou not the Lady Olivia's fool?
No, indeed, sir. The Lady Olivia has no folly. She will keep no fool, sir, till she be married. And fools are as like husbands, a pilchers are to herrings. The husband's the bigger. I am indeed not her fool, but her corrupter of words.
I saw thee laid at the Count Orsino's.
Foolery, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun. It shines everywhere. I would be sorry, sir, but the fool should be as oft with your master as with my mistress. I think I saw your wisdom there.
Nay, and thou pass upon me. I'll no more with thee. Hold, there's expenses for thee.
Now, Jove, in his next commodity of hair, send thee a beard.
By my troth, I'll tell thee, I am almost sick for one. Though I would not have it grown on my chin. Is thy lady within?
Would not a pair of these hands have bread, sir?
Yes, being kept together and put to use.
I would play Lord Pandarus of Phrygia, sir, to bring a crescedia to this trellis.
I understand you, sir. 'Tis well begged.
The matter, I hope, is not great, sir, begging but a beggar. Presidia was a beggar, my lady is within, sir. I will consider with to them whence you come, who you are, and what you would are out of my welkin. I might say element, but the word is overworn.
Whew. This fellow is wise enough to play the fool, and to do that while craves a kind of wit. He must observe their mood on whom he jests, the quality of the persons, and the time, and like the haggard, check at every feather that comes before his eye. This is a practice as full of labor as a wise man's art. For folly, that he wisely shows his fit. Wise men, folly fallen, quite taint their wit.
Save you, gentlemen.
And you, sir,
De vous garde, monsieur.
Êtes-vous aussi votre serviteur?
I hope, sir, you are, and I am yours.
Will you encounter the house? My niece is desirous you should enter if you trade to be to her.
I am bound to your niece, sir. I mean, she is the list of my voyage.
Taste your legs, sir. Put them to motion.
My legs do better understand me, sir, than I understand what you mean by bidding me taste my legs.
I mean to go, sir, to enter.
I will answer you with gate and entrance, but we are prevented. Most excellent, accomplished lady, the heaven rains odors on you.
That youth's a rare courtier. Rain odors well.
My matter hath no voice, lady, but to your own most pregnant and vouchsafed ear.
Odors, pregnant, and vouchsafed? I'll get them all three already.
Let the garden door be shut and leave me to my hearing. Give me your hand, sir.
My duty, madam, and most humble service.
What is your name?
Cesario is your servant's name, fair princess.
My servant, sir. It was never merry world since lowly feigning was called compliment. Your servant to the Count Orsino, youth.
And he is yours, and his must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant, madam.
For him, I think not on him, for his thoughts would they were blanks rather than filled with me.
Madam, I come to whet your gentle thoughts on his behalf.
Oh, by your leave, I pray you. I bade you never speak again of him. But would you undertake another suit? I had rather hear you to solicit that than music from the spheres.
Dear lady.
Give me leave, beseech you. I did send, after the last enchantment you did hear, a ring in chase of you. So did I abuse myself, my servant, and I fear me, you. Under your hard construction, I must sit to force that on you in a shameful cunning, which you knew none of yours. What might you think? Have you not set mine honor at the stake and baited it with the unmuzzled thoughts of that tyrannous heart can think? To one of your receiving, enough is shown. A cypress, not a bosom, hides my heart. So let me hear you speak.
I pity you.
That's a degree to love.
No, not a grise, for 'tis a vulgar proof that very oft we petty enemies.
Why then, methinks 'tis time to smile again. Oh, world, how apt the poor are to be proud, for if one should be a prey, how much the better to fall before the lion than the wolf. The clock upbraids me with the waste of time. Be not afraid, good youth. I will not have you. And yet when wit and youth is come to harvest, your wife is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west.
Then westward ho. Grace and good disposition attend your ladyship. Yield nothing, madam, to my lord by me.
Stay, I prithee. Tell me what thou thinkst of me.
That you do think you are not what you are.
If I think so, I think the same of you.
Then you think right. I am not what I am.
I would you were as I would have you be.
Would it be better, madam, than I am? I wish it might, for now I am your fool.
Ah, what a deal of scorn looks beautiful in the contempt and anger of his lip. A murderous guilt shows not itself more soon than love that would seem hid. Love's night is noon. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maidenhood, honor, truth in everything, I love thee so that meager in all thy pride, nor wit nor reason can my passion hide. Do not extort thy reasons from this clause, for that I woo, thou therefore it hast no cause. But rather reason, thus with reason fetter, love sought is good, but given unsought is better.
By innocence I swear, and by my youth I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth, and that no woman has, nor never none shall mistress be of it, save I alone. And so adieu, good madam. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore.
Yet come again, for thou perhaps mayst move that heart which now abhors to like his love.
No, Faith, I'll not stay a jot longer.
Thy reason, dear Venom, give thy reason.
You must needs yield your reason, Sir Andrew.
Mary, I saw your niece do more favors to the Count's serving man than ever she bestowed upon me. I saw it in the orchard.
Did she see the wild old boy? Tell me that.
As plain as I see you now.
This was a great argument of love and towards you.
Slight. Will you make an ass of me?
I will prove it legitimate, sir, upon the oaths of judgment and reason.
And they have been grand jurymen since before Noah was a sailor.
No, she did show the favor of youth in your sight only to exasperate you, to awake your remorse, valor, and to put fire into your heart and brimstone into your liver. You should then have accosted her with some excellent jest and fired you from the mint. You should have burned the youth into dumbness. This was looked at you for your hand, and this was balked. The double guilt of this opportunity you will let time wash up, and you are now sailed into the north of my lady's opinion. Well, you will hang like an icicle on a Dutchman's beard, unless you do redeem it by some laudable attempt of valor or policy.
And it be anyway, it must be with valor, for policy I hate. I had a lief be a brownest as a politician.
Why then build me thy fortunes upon the basis of valor? Challenge me the Count's used to fight with him, hurt him in 11 places. My niece shall take note of it, and assure thyself there is no love broker in the world can more prevail in man's condemnation with women that report of valor.
There is no way but this, Sir Andrew.
Will either of you bear me a challenge to him?
Go write it in a martial hand, be cursed and brief. It is no matter how witty, so it be eloquent and full of invention. Taunt him with license of ink, if thou dost him some thrice, it shall not be amiss, and as many lies as as will lie in thy sheet of paper, although the sheet were big enough for the bed of where in England, set 'em down. Go about it, let there be gall enough in thy ink, thou dost write with a goose pen no matter about it.
Where shall I find you?
We'll call thee at the cubicle go. Baby,
Cubiculo?
cubicle go.
Cubiculo. This dear mannequin to you, Sir Toby.
I have been dear to him, led some 2,000 strong or so.
Well, we shall have a rare letter from him, but you will not deliver it.
Never trust me then, and by all means stir on the youth to an answer. I think oxen and wain robs cannot hail them together. For Andrew, if he were opened and you find so such blood in his liver as will cloth the foot of a flea, I'll eat the rest of thy anatomy.
And as opposite the youth bears his visage no great presage of cruelty.
Look where the youngest reign of mine comes.
If you desire the spleen and laugh yourselves into stitches, follow me. Yonder Malvolio was turned heathen and very renegado, for there is no Christian that means to be saved by believing rightly can ever believe such impossible passages of grossness. He's in yellow stockings.
And cross-guarded? Guarded?
Most villainously, like a pendant that keeps school in the church. I have talked to him like this murderer. He does obey every point of the letter that I dropped to betray him. He just smile his face into more lines than is the new map with the augmentation of the Indies. You have not seen such a thing, Eustace. I can hardly forbear hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him. If you do, he'll smile and take it for great favor.
Come, bring us where he is.
Would not by my will have troubled you. But since you make your pleasure of your pains, I will no further chide you.
I could not stay behind you. My desire, more sharp than filed steel, did spur me forth, and not all love to see you, though so much as might have drawn one to a longer voyage, but jealousy what might befall your travel, being skilless in these parts, which to a stranger, unguided and unfriended, often prove rough and unhospitable. My willing love, the rather by these arguments of fear, set forth in your pursuit.
Oh, my kind Antonio, I can no other answer make but thanks and ever thanks. And oft good turns are shoved off with such uncurrent pay, but were my worth as is my conscience firm, you should find better dealing. What's to do? Shall we go see the relics of this town?
Tomorrow, sir. Best first go see your lodging.
Oh, I'm not weary, and 'tis long tonight. I pray you, let us satisfy our eyes with the memorials and the things of fame that do renown this city.
Would you pardon me? I do not without danger walk these streets. Once in a sea fight against the Count, his galleys, I did some service, of such note indeed that were I ta'en here, it would scarce be answered.
Oh, belike you slew great number of his people?
The offense is not of such a bloody nature, albeit the quality of the time and quarrel might well have given us bloody argument. It might have since been answered in repaying what we took from them, which for traffic's sake most of our city did. Only myself stood out, for which, if I be lapsed in this place, I shall pay dear.
Do not then walk too open.
It doth not fit me. Hold, sir, here's my purse.
Oh.
In the south suburbs at the Elephant is best to lodge. I will bespeak our diet whilst you beguile the time and feed your knowledge with viewing of the town. There shall you have me.
Why I your purse?
Haply your eye shall light upon some toy you have desire to purchase, and your store, I think, is not for idle market, sir.
I'll be your purse bearer and leave you for an hour.
To the Elephant.
I do remember.
I have sent after him. He says he'll come. How shall I feast him? What bestow of him? For youth is bought more oft than begged or borrowed. Oh, I speak too loud. Where's Malvolio? He is sad and civil and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Where is Malvolio?
He is coming, madam, but in a very strange manner. He is sure possessed, madam.
Why? What's the matter? Does he rave?
No, madam, he does nothing but smile. Your ladyship would best have some guard about you if he were to come. For sure the man is tainted in sweats.
Go call him hither. I am as mad as he, if sad and merry madness equal be. How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady, ho ho.
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad lady, I could be sad. This does make some obstruction in the blood, this cross gathering, but what of that? If it please the eye of one, it is. With me, a very true sonnet is, please one and please all.
Why? How dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. It did come to his hands, and command shall be executed. I think we do know the sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed, aye, sweetheart, and I'll come to thee.
Oh God, comfort thee. Why dost thou smile so and kiss my hand so oft?
How do you do, Malvolio?
At your request, yes, nightingales answers dolls.
Why appear you with this ridiculous boldness before my lady?
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well writ.
What meanst thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great. Some achieve greatness,
What sayest thou?
and some have greatness thus upon them.
Oh, heaven restore thee.
Remember who commended thy yellow stockings,
The yellow stockings?
and wished to see thee cross-gartered.
Cross-gartered?
Go to, thou art made, if thou darest to be so.
Am I made?
If not, let me see thee a servant still.
Ah, why, this is a very midsummer madness.
Madam, the young gentleman of court Asino is returned. I could hardly entreat him back. He attends your ladyship pleasure.
Oh, I'll come to him. Oh, good Maria, let this fellow be looked to. Where is my cousin Toby? Let some of my people have a special care of him. I would not have him miscarry for the half of my dowry.
Oh, do you come near me now? No worse man than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose that I may appear stubborn to him, for she incites me to that in the letter. Cast thy humble, says she, be opposite with a kinsman, surely with servants. Let thy tongue with arguments of state. Put thyself into thick of singularity, and concretely set down the manner how, as a sad face, I revered courage, a slow tongue in the habit of some sir of note, and so forth. I have limbed her, but it is Jove's doing, and Jove makes me thankful. And when she went away now, let this fellow be looked so. Fellow, not Monvo, nor after my degree, but fellow. Why, everything adheres together, that no drum of a scruple, no scruple of a scruple, no obstacle, no incredulous or unsafe circumstance. What can be said? Nothing can be come between me and the full prospect of my hopes. Well, Jove, not I, is the doer of this, and he is to be thanked.
Which way is he in the name of sanctity, if all the devils of hell be drawn in a little and legion himself possessed him? Yet I'll speak to him.
Ah, here he is, here he is. How is it with you, sir? How is it with you, man?
Go off. I discard you. Let me enjoy my private. Go off.
Lo, how hollow the fiend speaks within him. Did I not tell you so, Toby? My lady prays you have a care of him.
Ah, does she so?
Go to, peace. Peace. We must deal gently with him. Let me alone. How do you, Malvolio? How is it with you? What man defy the devil? Consider he's an enemy to mankind.
Do you know what you say?
Lie you, and you speak ill of the devil and how he takes it at heart. Pray God he be not bewitched. Oh, carry his water to the wise woman. Marry, and it shall be done tomorrow morning if I live. My lady would not lose him for more than a day.
How now, mistress?
Oh, Lord.
Prithee, hold thy peace. This is not the way. Do you not see you move him? Let me alone with him.
Ah, no way but gentleness. Gently, gently. The fiend is rough and will not be roughly used.
Why, how now, my buckock? How dost thou, Chuck?
Sir?
Aye, biddy, come with me. What man 'tis not for gravity to play a cherry pit with Satan? Hang him, fool Collier.
Foul, Collier? Yes, foul, Collier. Get him to
Yes.
say his prayers, good Sir Toby. Get him to pray.
My prayers, meets.
Ah, no, I warned you. He will not hear of godliness.
Go hang yourselves all. You are idle, shallow things. I am not of your element.
Is it possible?
It is were played upon a stage now. I would condemn it as an improbable fiction.
His very genius hath taken the infection of device, man.
Hey, pursue him now, lest the device take and taint. Oh, wait, shit. Why shall we make him mad indeed? The house will be quieter.
Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he's mad. We may carry it thus for our pleasure and his penance till our very pastime, tired of out of breath, prompt us to have mercy on him, at which time we will bring the device to the bar and crown thee for a finder of madmen. But see.
No matter for a May morning.
Here's the challenge. Read it. I warrant there's vinegar and pepper in it.
Is it just so saucy?
Aye, is it? I warrant him. Do but read.
Give me. Yoth whatsoever thou art but a scurvy fellow.
Good and valiant.
Wonder not, nor admire not in thy mind why I do call thee so, for I will show thee no reason for it.
A good note. That keeps you from the blow of the law.
Thou canst to the Lady Olivia, in my sight she uses thee kindly, but thou liest in thy throat, that is not the matter I challenge thee for.
Very brief, and to exceed in good sense. Less.
I will waylay thee going home where if it be thy chance to kill me.
Good.
Thou killest me like a rogue and a villain.
Still you keep on the windy side of the law. Good.
Fare thee well, and God have mercy upon one of our souls. He may have mercy upon mine, but my hopes is better, and so look to thyself, thy friend, as thou'st use him, and thy sworn enemy. Andrew Aguatik. If this letter move him not, his legs cannot. I'll give it to him.
He may have very fit occasion for it. He is now in some commerce with my lady, and will be by and by depart.
Go, Sir Andrew, scout me for him at the corner of the orchard like a bum bailey. So soon as ever thou seest him, draw, and as thou drawest, swear horrible, for it comes to pass of the terrible oath. With a swaggering accent sharply twanged off it, give manhood more appropriation than ever proof itself would have earned him. Away!
Nay, let me alone for swearing.
Now will not I deliver his letter, for the behavior of the young gentleman gives him out to be of good capacity and breeding. His employment between his lord and my niece confirms no less. Therefore, this letter, being so exactly ignorant, will breed no terror in the youth. He will find it comes from a clodpole. But, sir, I will deliver his challenge by word of mouth, set upon Aguachique a notable report of valor, and a driver in the the gentleman, as I know his youth, will apply and receive it, into a most hideous opinion of his rage, skill, fury, and impetuosity. This will so fright them both that they will kill one another by the look like cockatrices.
Ah, here he comes with your niece. Give him. Wait till he take leave, and presently after him.
I will meditate the while upon some horrid message for a challenge.
I have set too much onto a heart of stone and laid my honor too unchary on it. There's something in me that reproves my fault, but such a headstrong, potent fault it is that it mocks reproof.
With the same behavior that your passion bears goes on my master's griefs.
Here, wear this jewel for me. 'Tis my picture. Oh, refuse it not. It hath no tongue to vex you, and I beseech you, come again tomorrow. What shall you ask of me that I'll deny? That honor, saved, may upon asking give.
Nothing. Nothing but this. Your true love for my master.
How with mine honor may I give him that which I have given to you?
I will acquit you.
Well, come again tomorrow. Fare thee well. Fiend like thee might bear my soul to hell.
Gentlemen, God save thee.
And you, sir?
That defense thou hast betake thee of what nature the wrongs are thou hast done him. I know not, why the interceptor, full of despite, bloody as the hunter, attends thee at the orchard end. Dismount thy tuck, be yarn in the preparation, for thy assailant is quick, skillful, and deadly.
You mistake, sir. I am no man hath any quarrel to me. My remembrance is very free and clear from any image of offense done to any man.
You'll find it otherwise, I assure you. Therefore, if you hold your life at any price, betake you to your guard, for your opposite hath in him what youth, strength, skill, and wrath can furnish man withal.
I pray you, sir, what is he?
He is a knight, dubbed with unhatched rapier and on carpet consideration, but he is a devil in private brawl. Souls and bodies hath he divorced 3, and his increstment at this a moment is so implacable that satisfaction can be none by pegs of death and sepulchre. Hobnob in his word, give it or take it.
I will return again into the house and desire some conduct of the lady. I am no fighter. I have heard of some kind of men that put quarrels purposefully on others to taste their valor. Belike this is a man of that quirk.
Sir, no, his indignation derives itself of very competent injury. Therefore, get out and give him his desire. Back you shall not to the house, unless you undertake that with me, with that as much safety you might answer him. Therefore, on or your strip your sword stark naked, for metal you must. That sir, nor for what's where to wear iron about you.
This is as uncivil as strange. I beseech you, do me this courteous offer, as to know of the knight what my offense to him is, It is something of my negligence, nothing of my purpose.
I will do so, Signor Fabian. Stay you by this gentleman till my return.
Pray you, sir, do you know of this matter?
I know of the knight is incensed against you, even to a mortal arbitrament, but nothing of the circumstance. Oh.
I beseech you, what manner of a man is he?
Nothing of wonderful promise, to read by him's form, as you would like to find him in proof of his valor. He is indeed, sir, the most skillful, a bloody, and fatal opposite that you could possibly have found in any part of Illyria. Will you walk towards him? I will make your peace with him if I can.
I shall be much bound to you for it. I am one that had rather go with the Sir Priest than Sir Knight. I care not who knows so much of my mettle.
Why, man, he's a very devil. I have not seen such a... Forgive, I had passed with him, rapier, scabbard, and all, and he gives me the stuck in with such a mortal motion that is invaluable. And on the other answer, he pays you as surely as your feet hits the ground they step on. They say he has been fancier to this shoppy.
Ox on it, I'll not meddle with him.
Aye, but he will not be pacific. Fabian can scarce hold him yonder.
Plague on it, and I thought he had been valiant and so cunning in fence. I'd have seen him damned ere I'd have challenged him. Let him let the matter slip, and I'll give him my horse. Grace, Calipe.
I'll make the motions. Stand here. Make a good show of it. This shall end with the petition of souls. Mary, I'll ride your horse as well as I ride you. I have the horse to take up the quarrel. I have persuaded him the youth's a devil.
He is as horribly as conceited of him, and pants and look as pale if a bear were at his heels.
There's no remedy, sir. He will fight with you for oath's sake. Mary, he hath better bethought him of this quarrel, and he finds that now scarce to be worth talking of. Therefore draw for the subordinates of his vow. He protests he will not hurt you.
Pray God, defend me. A little thing would make me tell them how much I lack of a man.
Give him ground if you see him furious.
Come, Sir Andrew, there's no remedy. The gentleman, more for this honor's sake, have on about with you. He cannot be the duty to avoid, but he had promised me, as he is gentleman and a soldier, he will not hurt you. Come on to it.
Pray God he keep his oath.
I do assure you 'tis against my will.
Put up your sword. If this young gentleman have done offense, I take the fault on me. If you offend him, I for him defy you.
You, sir? Why, what are you?
One, sir, that for his love dares yet do more than you have heard him brag to you he will.
Nay, if you be an undertaker, I am for you.
Oh, good Sir Toby, hold! Here come the officers.
Oh, this is dripping. I'll be with you, anon.
Hey, sir, put your sword up if you please.
Marry will I, sir, and for that I promised you, I'll be as good as my word. He will bear you easily and reigns well.
This is the man. Do thy office.
Antonio, I arrest thee at the suit of Count Orsino.
You do mistake me, sir.
No, sir, no, Jot. I know your favour well. Though now you have no sea cap in your head. Take him away, he knows him well.
I must obey. This comes with seeking you, but there's no remedy. I shall answer it. What will you do? Now my necessity makes me to ask you for my purse. It grieves me much more what I cannot do for you than what befalls myself. You stand amazed, but be of comfort.
Come, sir.
I must entreat of you some of that money.
What money, sir? For the fair kindness you showed me here, in part being prompted by your present trouble, Out of my lean and low ability, I'll lend you something. My having is not much. I'll make division of my present with you. Hold, there's half my offer.
Will you deny me now? Is it possible that my deserts to you can lack persuasion? Do not tempt my misery, lest that it make me so unsound a man as to upbraid you with those kindnesses that I have done for you.
I know of none, nor know I by voice or any feature. I hate ingratitude more in a man than lying, vainness, babbling drunkenness, or any taint of vice whose strong corruption inhabits our frail blood.
Oh, heavens themselves!
Come, sir, I pray you go.
Let me speak a little. This youth that you see here, I snatched one half out of the jaws of death, relieved him with such sanctity of love, and to his image, which methought did promise most venerable worth, did I devotion. But oh, vile, how vile and idle proves this God. Thou hast, Sebastian, done good feature shame. In nature there's no blemish but the mind. None can be called deformed but the unkind. Virtue is beauty, but the beauteous evil are empty trunks or flourished by the devil.
The man grows mad. Away with him. Come, sir.
Lead me on.
Methinks his words do from so passion fly that he believes himself, so do not I. Prove true, imagination. Prove true that I, dear brother, be now taken for you.
Come hither, knight. Come hither, Fabian. We'll whisper your couplet of two of most sad saws. Say it.
He named Sebastian. I, my brother, know, yet living in my glass. Even such, and so in favor, was my brother. He went still in this fashion, color, ornament, for him I imitate. If it prove tempests are kind, its salt waves fresh in love.
A very dishonest poultry boy, and more coward than hare. His dishonesty appears in living his friend here in necessity and denying him, and for his cowardship. Ask Fabian.
A coward, a most devoted coward. Religious in it.
Slid. I'll after him again and beat him.
Do cuff him soundly, but never draw thy sword.
And I do not.
Come, let's see this event.
I dare lay any money, 'twill be nothing yet.
Will you make me believe that I am not sent for you?
Go to. Thou art a foolish fellow. Let me be clear of thee.
Well, held out of faith. No, I do not know you, nor I am not sent to you by my lady to bid you come speak with her, nor your name is not Master Cesario, nor this is not my nose, neither. Nothing that it is so.
I prithee, vent thy folly somewhere else. Thou knowest not me.
Vent my folly? He has heard that word of some great man and now applies it to a fool. Vent my folly? I am afraid this great lubber the world will prove a cockney. I pray thee now, ungrid thy strangeness and tell me what I shall vent to my lady. Shall I vent to her that thou art coming?
I prithee, foolish Greek, depart from me. There's money for thee. If you tarry longer, I shall give worse payment.
By my troth, thou hast an open hand. These wise men that give fools money get themselves a good report after 14 years' purchase.
Now, sir, have I met you again? There's for you.
Oh, what? There's for thee. And there, and there. Oh, are all the people mad?
Hold, sir, or I'll throw your dagger on the house.
This will I tell my lady straight. I would not be in some of your coats for 2 pence.
Come on, sir, hold.
Nay, let him alone. I'll go another way to work with him. I'll have an action of battery against him if there will be any law in Illyria, though I struck him first, yet it's no matter for that.
Let go thy hand.
Come, sir, I will not let you go. Come, my young soldier, put up your iron. You are all well fleshed. Come on.
I will be free from thee. Oh, what wouldst thou now? If thou darest tempt me further, draw thy sword.
What? What? Nay, then I must have an ounce or two of this malapert blood from you.
Hold! Toby, on thy life, I charge thee, hold!
Madam,
Will it ever be thus, ungracious wench? Fit for the mountains and the barbarous caves, where manners ne'er were preached. Out of my sight! Be not offended, dear Cesario. Rudesby, be gone! I prithee, gentle friend, thy fair wisdom, not thy passion, sway in this uncivil and unjust extent against thy peace. Go with me to my house, and hear there thou how many fruitless pranks this ruffian hath botched up, that thou thereby mayest smile at this, though thou shalt not choose but go. Do not deny. Beshrew his soul for me, he started one poor heart of mine in me.
What relish is in this? How runs the stream? Or am I mad, or else this is a dream. Let fancy still my sense and let me steep. If it be thus a dream, still let me sleep.
Nay, come, I prithee. I would thou'st be ruled by me.
Madam, I will.
Oh, say so, and so be.
Nay, I prithee, I put on this gown and this beard. Make him believe thou art Sir Topus the curate. Do it quickly. I'll call Sir Toby whilst.
Well, I'll put it on and I will dissemble myself in it. And I were the first that ever dissembled in such a gown. I am not tall enough to become the function well, nor lean enough to be thought a good student, but to be said an honest man and a good housekeeper goes as fairly as to say a careful man and a great scholar. The competitors enter.
Jehovah bless thee, Master Parson.
Buenos dias, Sir Toby. For as the old hermit of Prague, that never saw pen and ink, very wittily said to a niece of King Grobaduk, that is. So I, being Master Parson, and Master Parson, for what is that, and is but is?
To him, Sir Thomas.
What? Oh, I say, peace in this prison.
The knave counterfeits well a good knave. A good knave.
Look. Who calls thee there?
Sir Topus the curate, who comes to visit Malvolio the lunatic.
Sir Topus, good Sir Topus, go to my lady.
Out, hyperbolic fiend! How vexest thou this man? Talkest thou nothing but of ladies?
Well said, Master Parson.
Sir Topus never was thus wronged. Good Sir Topus, do not think I am mad. They have laid me here in hideous darkness.
Fie, thou dishonest Satan! I call thee by the most modest terms, for I am one of those gentle ones that will use the devil himself with courtesy. Sayest thou that house is dark?
As hell, Sir Topus.
Why, its faith be windows transparent as barricados, and the clerestories towards the south-north are as lustrous as ebony, and yet complainest thou of obstruction?
I am not mad, Topus. I say to you, this house is dark.
Madman, thou errest. I say there is no darkness, but ignorance, in which thou art more puzzled than Egyptians in their fog.
I say this house is as dark as ignorance, though ignorance were as dark as hell. And I say there was never man thus I am no more mad than you are. Make the trial of it in any constant question.
What is the opinion of Pythagoras concerning wildfowl? wildfowl.
That the soul of our grandam might haply inhabit a bird.
What thinkest thou of his opinion?
I think nobly of the soul, and no way approved his opinion.
Fare thee well. Remain thou still in darkness. Thou shalt hold the opinion of Pythagoras, ere I will allow of thy wits, and fear to kill a woodcock, lest thou disposes the soul of thy grandam. Fare thee well.
Sir Topus, Sir Topus.
My most
My-
oops, sorry.
Oh, it's all good, Sir Topus, my most exquisite Sir Topus.
Nay, I am for all waters.
Ah, thou mightest have done this without thy beard and gown. He sees thee not.
To him with thine own voice and bring me word how thou finds him. I would we were well rid of this cadaver, if he may conveniently delivered. I would he were, for I am now so far in offense with my niece that I cannot persuade with any safety. This more at the upshot, come by and by to my chamber.
Hey, Robin, jolly Robin, tell me how that lady does.
Fool,
My lady is unkind, purdy.
fool,
Alas, why is she so?
fool, I say.
She loves another. Who calls? Ha!
Good fool, as ever thou wilt deserve well of my hand. Help me to a candle and pen, ink, and paper. As I am a gentleman, I will live to be thankful for
Master Malvolio?
I, good fool.
Alas, sir, how fell you besides your 5 wits?
Fool, there was never man so notoriously. I am as well as my wits. Fool as thou art.
But as well? Then you are mad indeed if you be no better in your wits than a fool.
They have here pride me, keep me in darkness, send ministers to me, asses, and do all they can to face me out of my wits.
Advise you what you say. The minister is here. Malvolio, Malvolio, thou wouldst the heavens restore. Endeavor thyself to sleep and leave thy vain bibble bubble.
Sir Topus.
Maintain no words with him, good fellow. Who? I, sir? Not I, sir. God by you, good Sir Topus.
I will, sir. I will.
Fool, 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 I say.
Alas, sir, be patient. What say you, sir? I am ashamed for speaking to you.
Good fool, help me to come light and some paper. I tell thee, I am as well in my wits as any man in India.
Well a day that you were, sir.
By this hand I am. Good fool, some ink and paper and light, and convey what I will sit down to my lady. It shall advantage thee more than ever the bearing of letter did.
I will help you to it. But tell me true, are you not are you not mad indeed? Or do you but counterfeit?
Believe me, I am not. I tell thee true.
Nay, I'll never believe a madman till I see his brains. I will fetch you light and paper and ink.
Fool, I cried it to the highest degree. I pity thee. Be gone.
I am gone, sir, and anon, sir, I'll be with you again. In a trice, like to the old vice, your need to sustain. Who with dagger of laugh and his rage and his wrath cries aha to the devil like a mad lad. Pare thy nails, dad, a do good man, devil.
This is the air, that is the glorious sun. This pearl she gave me, I do feel it and see it. And though 'tis wonder that enwraps me thus, yet 'tis not madness. Where is Antonio then? Could not find him at the Elephant, yet there he was, and there I found this credit that he did range the town to seek me out. His counsel now might do me golden service. For though my soul disputes well with my sense that this may be some error, but no madness, yet doth this accident and flood of fortune so far exceed all instances, all discourse, that I am ready to distrust mine eyes and wrangle with my reason that persuades me to any other trust, but that I am mad. Or else The lady's mad. Yet if it were so, she could not sway her house, command her followers, take and give back affairs of their dispatch with such a smooth, discreet, and stable bearing as I perceive she does. There's something in it that is deceivable. But here the lady comes.
Blame not this haste of mine, if you mean well. Now go with me and this holy man into the chantry by. There before him and underneath that consecrated roof, plight me the full assurance of your faith, that most jealous and too doubtful soul may live at peace. He shall conceal it, whilst you're willing, it shall come to note. What time will our celebration keep according to my birth? What do you say?
I will follow this good man and go with you. And having sworn truth, ever will be true.
And lead the way, good Father in heaven, so shine that they may fairly note this act of mine.
Now, as thou lovest me, let me see his letter.
Good Master Fabian, grant me another request.
Anything.
Do not desire to see this letter.
This is to give a dog in recompense desire, my dog again.
Belong you to the Lady Olivia, friends?
Aye, sir, we are some of her trappings.
I know thee well. How dost thou, my good fellow?
Truly, sir, the better for my foes and the worse for my friends.
Just the contrary. Better for thy friends.
No, sir, the worse.
How can that be?
Marry, sir, they praise me and make an ass of me. Now my foes tell me plainly I am an ass. So that by my foes, sir, I profit in the knowledge of myself. And by my friends, I am abused. So that, conclusions to be as kisses, if your 4 negatives make your 2 affirmatives, why then the worse for my friends and the better for my foes?
Why, this is excellent.
By my troth, sir, no. Though it please you to be one of my friends.
Thou shalt not be the worse for me. There's gold.
But that it would be double dealing, sir. I would you could make it another.
Oh, you give me ill counsel.
Put your grace in your pocket, sir, for this once, and let your flesh and blood obey it.
Well, I will be so much a sinner to be a double dealer. There's another.
Primo, secundo, tercio is a good play. And the old saying is, the third pays for all. The triplex, sir, is a good tripping measure, or the bells of St. Bennet, sir, may put you in mind. 1, 2, 3.
You can fool no more money out of me than this at this throw. If you will let your lady know I am here to speak with her and bring her along with you, it may awake my bounty further.
Marry, sir, lullaby to your bounty till I come again. I go, sir, but I would not have you to think that my desire of having is a sin of covetousness. I'm pulling a Travis. How do you say that? Covetousness? But as you say, sir, let your bounty take a nap. I will awake it anon.
Here comes the man that did rescue me.
That face of his I do remember well. Yet when I saw it last, it was besmeared as black as Vulcan in the smoke of war. A bobbling vessel was he captain of, for shallow draught and bulk unprizable, for which such scatheful grapple did he make with the most noble bottom of our fleet. That very envy and tongue of loss cried fame and honor on him. What's the matter? Orsinio, this is that Antonio that took the Phoenix with her fraught from Candy. And as did with the Tiger board when your young nephew Titus lost his leg. Here in the streets, desperate of shame and state, in private drabble did we apprehend him.
He did me kindness, sir, drew on my side, but in conclusion put strange speech upon me. I know not what 'twas, but distraction.
Notable pirate, thou saltwater thief, what foolish boldness brought thee to thy mercies? Whom now in terms so bloody and so dear hast made thine enemies?
Orsino, noble sir, be pleased that I shake off these names you give me. Antonio never yet was thief or pirate, though I confess, on base and ground enough, Orsino's enemy. A witchcraft drew me hither. That most ingrateful boy there by your side, from the rude seas, enraged and foamy mouth, did I redeem. A rack past hope he was. His life I gave him, and did thereto add my love, without retention or restraint, all his in dedication. For his sake did I expose myself, pure for his love, into the danger of this adverse town. True to defend him when he was beset, where being apprehended, his false cunning, not meaning to partake with me in danger, taught him to face me out of his acquaintance, and grew a 20 years removed thing while one would wink, denied me mine own purse, which I had recommended to his use not half an hour before.
How can this be?
When came he to this town?
Today, my lord, and for 3 months before, no interim, not a minute's vacancy, both day and night did we keep company.
Here comes the Countess. Now heaven walks on earth. But for thee, fellow, my words are madness. 3 months this youth hath tended upon me. But more of that anon. Take him aside.
What would my lord but that he may not have, wherein Olivia may seem serviceable? Cesario, you do not keep promise with me.
Madam,
Gracious Olivia.
What do you say, Cesario? Good my lord.
my lord would speak, my duty hushes me.
If it be aught to the old tune, my lord, it is as fat and fulsome to my ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel.
Still so constant, lord.
What? To perverseness? You, uncivil lady, to whose ingrate and auspicious altars my sole faithfulest offerings have breathed out that air devotion tender, what shall I do?
Even what it please my lord, that shall become him.
Why should I not, had I the heart to do it, like to the Egyptian thief at point of death, kill what I love? A savage jealousy that sometimes savors nobly. But hear me this. Since you to non-regardance cast my faith, and that I partly know the instrument that screws me from my true place in your favor, live you the marble-breasted tyrant still. But this is your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly. Him I will tear out of that cruel eye where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, with me. My thoughts are ripe in mischief. I'll sacrifice the lamb that I do love to spite a raven's heart within a dove.
And I, most jocund, apt and willingly do you rest 1,000 deaths would die.
But where goes Cesario?
After him I love more than I love these eyes, more than my life, moral by mores than ere I shall love wife. If I do feign, you witness above, punish my life, retaining my love.
Ay me, detested. I am beguiled.
Who does beguile you? Who does do you wrong?
Hast thou forgot thyself? Is it so long? Call forth the Holy Father.
Come, away.
Whither, my lord? Cesario! Husband, stay!
Husband?
Aye, husband! Can he that deny?
Her husband, sirrah?
No, my lord, not I.
Alas. Ah, it is the baseness of thy fear that makes thee strangle thy propriety. Fear not, Cesario. Take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, then thou art as great as thou fearest. Oh, welcome, Father. Father, I charge thee by thy reverence here to unfold, though lately we intended to keep in darkness what occasion now reveals before 'tis right. What thou dost know hath newly passed between this youth and me.
A contact of eternal bond of love, confirmed by mutual joiner of your hands, tested by the holy close of lips, straightened by enchantment of your rings, and the ceremony of this compact, sealed in my function by my testimony, since when my watch hath told me, towards my grave, I have traveled but 2 hours.
O thou dissembling cub, what wilt thou be when time hath sowed a grizzle on thy case? Or will not else thy craft so quickly grow that thine own trip shall be thine overthrow? Farewell and take her, but direct thy feet where thou and I henceforth may never meet.
My lord, I do protest.
Oh, do not swear. Hold little faith, though thou hast too much fear.
For the love of God, a surgeon! Send one presently to Sir Toby.
What's the matter?
Has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb too. For the love of God, your help! I had rather than 40 pound I were at home.
Who has done this, Sir Andrew?
The Count's gentleman, one Cesario. We took him for a coward, but he's the very devil incarnate.
My gentleman, Cesario.
Odds lifelings, here he is! You broke my head for nothing, and that I did, I was set on to do it by Sir Toby. You, Cesario, I'm talking to you.
Why do you speak to me? I never hurt you. You drew your sword upon me without cause, but I spake you fair and hurt you not.
If a bloody coxcomb be a hurt, you have hurt me. I think you set nothing by a bloody coxcomb. Here comes Sir Toby halting. You shall hear more, but if he had not been in drink, he would have tickled you other gates than he did.
How now, gentlemen? How is it with you?
That's all one has hurt me, and there's the end on it. So dost see Dick Surgeon? Saw it?
Oh, he's drunk. Sir Toby, and an hour gone. His eyes were set at 8 in the morning.
Then he's a rogue and a passing measure pave, and I hate a drunken rogue.
Away with him. Who hath made this havoc with them?
I'll help you, Sir Toby, because we'll be dressed together.
Will you help an ass head and a coxcomb and a knave and a thin-faced knave a gall?
Get him to bed and let his hurt be looked to.
Oh, I'm sorry, madam. I've hurt your kinsman. But had it been the brother of my blood, I must have done no less with wit and safety. You throw a strange regard upon me. By that I do perceive it hath offended you. Pardon me, sweet one, even for the vows we made each other but so late ago.
One face, one voice, one habit, and 2 persons. A natural perspective that is and is not.
Oh, Antonio! Oh, my dear Antonio! How the hours racked and tortured me since I have lost thee.
Sebastian, are you?
Fearest thou that, Antonio?
How have you made division of yourself? An apple cleft in 2 is not more twin than these 2 creatures. Which is Sebastian?
Oh,
Oh. Do I stand there? I never had a brother. Nor can there be that deity in my nature of here and everywhere. I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges have devoured. Of Charity, what kin are you to me? What countryman, what name, what parentage?
Of Messalene. Sebastian was my father. Such a Sebastian was my brother too. So when he suited to his watery tomb, if spirits can assume both form and suit, you come to fright us.
A spirit I am indeed, but I am in that dimension grossly clad from which the womb I did participate. Were you a woman, as the rest goes even, I shed my tears that fall upon my cheek and say, thrice welcomed, drowned Viola.
My father had a mole upon his brow
And so had mine.
and died the day when Viola from her birth had numbered 13 years.
Oh, that record is lively in my soul. He finished indeed his mortal act that day that made my sister 13 years.
If nothing lets to make us happy both, but this masculine usurped attire, do not embrace me till each circumstance of place, time, fortune do cohere and jump that I am Viola, which to confirm, I'll bring you to a captain in this town, where lie my maiden weeds, by whose gentle help I was preserved to serve this noble count. All the occurrence of my fortune since hath been between this lady and this lord.
Oh, so comes it, lady. You've been mistook. But nature to her bias drew in that you would have been contracted to a maid. Nor are you therein by my life deceived. You are betrothed both to a maid and man.
Be not amazed. Right noble is in his blood. If this be so, as yet the glass seems true, I shall have share in this most happy rack. Boy, thou hast said to me 1,000 times, thou never shouldst love woman like me.
And all those sayings will I overswear, and all those swearings keep true in soul, as doth that orbed continent the fire that severs day from night.
Give me thy hand, and let me see thee in thy woman weeds.
The captain that did bring me first on shore hath my maid's garments. He upon some action is now in durance at Malvolio's suit, a gentleman and follower of my lady's.
Oh, he shall enlarge him. Fetch Malvolio hither, and yet, alas, now I remember me. They say, poor gentleman, he's much distract. A most extracting frenzy of mine own from my remembrance clearly banished his. How does he, Sirrah?
Truly, madam, he holds Beelzebub at the staves end, as well as a man in his case may do. Has here writ a letter to you. I should have given to you today morning, but as a madman's epistles are now gospels, so it skills not much when they are delivered.
Opened it and read it.
Look then to be well edified when the fool delivers the madman. By the Lord, madam.
How now? Art thou mad?
No, madam, I do but read madness, and your ladyship will have it as it ought to be. You must love ox.
Prithee, read it in thy right wits.
So I do, Madonna, but to read his right wits is to read thus. Therefore, prepend, my princess, and give ear.
Read it, you, Sirrah.
By the Lord, madam, you wrong me, and the world shall know it. Though you have put me into darkness and given your drunken cousin rule over me, yet I have benefit of my senses, as well as your ladyship. I have your own letter that indicates or reduced me to the semblance I put on, with which I doubt not but do to myself much right or you much shame. Think of me as you please. I leave my duty a little unthought, of speak out of my injury. The madly used Malvolio.
Did he write this?
Aye, madame.
This
The
savors
savor's
not much of. Oh, sorry.
Echo.
The savor's not much of distraction.
See him delivered, Fabian. Bring him hither. My lord, so please you, these things further thought on, to think me as well a sister as a wife. One day shall crown the alliance on it, so please you, here at my house and at my proper cost.
Madam, I am most apt to embrace your offer. Your master quits you, and for your service done to him so much against the metal of your sex, so far beyond your soft and tender breeding, and, well, since you called me master for so long, here's my hand. You shall from this time be your master's mistress.
Oh, a sister! You are she.
Is this the madman?
Aye, my lord, this same. How now, Malvolio?
Madam, you have done me wrong, notoriously wrong.
Have I, Malvolio? No.
Lady, you have. Pray you prove better. You must not now deny it in your hand. Write from it if you can, in hand or phrase, or say 'tis not your seal, not your invention. You can say none of this. We'll grant it then. You tell me in the modesty of honor why you have given me such clear lights of favor. Bade me come smiling and cross-guarded to you, to put on yellow stockings and to frown upon Sir Toby and the lighter people, and acting in an obedient hope. Why have you suffered me in prison, kept me in a dark house, visited by the priest, and made the most notorious geck and gull that invention played on? Tell me why.
Alas, Malvolio, this is not my writing, though I confess much like the character. But out of question, 'tis Mariah's hand. I now, and now I do bethink me, it was she first told me that thou wast mad. Then camest in smiling and in such forms, which here were presupposed upon thee in the letter. Prithee, be content. This practice hath most shrewdly passed upon thee, but when we know the grounds and the authors of it, thou shalt be both the plaintiff and the judge of thine own cause.
Good madam, hear me speak, and let no quarrel, no brawl to come taint the condition of this present hour, which I have wondered at, and hope it shall not. Most freely I confess, myself and Toby set this device against Malvolio here. Upon some stubborn and uncourteous parts we have conceived against him. Maria writ the letter at Sir Toby's great importance, in recompense whereof he hath married her. How with a sportful malice in it was it followed, many rather pluck on the laughter than revenge. If that injuries be justly weighed, that have on both sides passed.
Alas, poor fool, how they have baffled thee.
Why, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrown upon them. I was one, sir, in this interlude, one Sir Topus, sir, but that's all one. By the Lord, fool, I am not mad. But do you remember, madam, I laugh, you at such a barrel rascal, and you smile not. He's gagged, and thus the whirligig of time brings in his revenges.
I'll be revenged on the whole pack of you.
He hath been most notoriously abused.
Pursue him and entreat him to a peace. He hath not told us of the captain yet. When that is known and the golden time convents, a solemn combination shall be made of our dear souls. Meantime, sweet sister, we will not part from hence. Cesario, come. For so you shall be while you are a man, but when another's habits you are seen, Orsino's mistress, and his fancy's queen.
When that I was and a little tiny boy, with hey ho, the wind and the rain. A foolish thing was but a toy, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came to man's estate, with hey ho, the wind and the rain, gainst knaves and thieves men shut their gate, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came alas to wife, with hey ho, with the wind and the rain, By swaggering could I never thrive, for the rain it raineth every day. But when I came unto my bed with hey ho, the wind and the rain, with tossed still had drunken heads, for the rain it raineth every day. A great while ago the world began with hey ho, the wind and the rain. But that's all one, our play is done, and we'll strive to please you every day.
The end. Woo! I just want to thank everybody. You did a great job. Shakespeare is tough to get through, and y'all powered through it. It's amazing. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too.
Always.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.